And so it's been a minute. Hopefully, it's like how YouTubers always say, audio is more important than the camera. So like if the camera looks decent and the mic is good and I sound good, they say that's good enough. And so it will be good enough today. I just wanted to go over this. It's a book haul in the sense that there are a bunch of books that I bought recently, like the past month or two. And I just been collecting. I was waiting for today for the last book to come in, which was because it's a four-part series. I already had volume four, which I can show you in a sec. This is volume four, Mastering the Chess Openings. I found this in a thrift store for like $1, $2 maybe, but it was only volume four. And so I need volume ones, two, and three. I mean, I have to, right? But before I started collecting those, I wanted a endgame book, or rather, my dad wanted an endgame. And so we've managed to find a book lot on eBay on the endgame. But most importantly, it had Dvoretsky's endgame manual. But anyway, let's get into the endgame book lot, starting with Mark Ishii, Mastering Rook Endings. I've never heard of this book. I have never heard of this author. Looks all right. Again, it's just Rook Endings. If anyone's ever read this, let me know. Test your endgame ability. It's basically just an endgame test. Tests, plural. Again, this one, I don't know. I don't know much about it. It just came with the lot. Again, we bought the lot for Dvoretsky's endgame manual. And so it was like $30 for the whole like 6 books. So it looks good. I read the back. It's just a bunch of tests, see where you're at, this and that. Then it was Ervin Chernov's Capablanca's Best Chess Endings. So Capablanca is no slouch. And so when he got, and I'm pretty sure he's known for his endgames, right? Like squeezing the original Carlsen, if you will, squeezing water out of stones. So there's that. That one looks good. Again, the more I look at the books I have, the more I want to read them, which is good. What else came with it? Oh yes, the Shereshevsky method to improve in chess. This looks interesting, but again, the reason why I even bought that book lot, Dvoretsky's endgame manual. Now, whoever knows about chess books knows Dvoretsky's endgame manual is the end all be all of endgame books for professionals. Okay, they say you got to be a titled player to go through this book. Some exercises are easier than others, or so I've heard. But in some, downright hard. It's a classic for a reason, right? So there's got to be something there. Although, this is, as you can see, first edition, old book. And funnily enough, Chess Life came in that same week that I got this book, and they were advertising the newest, like 5th or 6th edition or whatever that had just come out. So, but hey, it's like textbooks. How much really changes unless analysis was wrong or that or whatever? Just study it. The point is not just accept what they have written down. So you read it and you're like, okay, but this, and then you figure something out. You're thinking, good. And those were 5 books. I think there might have been a 6th book. I'd have to check on my phone real quick on the purchase to see what book is missing. Sure enough, I found it. It was this one. 200 brilliant endgames. The last work by one of America's most treasured chess writers, Ervin Chernoff. Also a great author. He also did the Capablanca one. He also have his Chess Move by Move and another one of the instructional. That's the last book that came with the set. Again, $30 for all 6 books. So that was the first set I bought. And from there on out, I just thought, eBay actually has some good finds. But before that, again, half price books doesn't let me down. Jacob Agard's Road to Grandmaster series, I think Grandmaster Prep series or whatever. We managed to find 3 of those, only for 15 each, which is actually a steal. So there's that. But, and the reason why I've been managing or making sure to keep the price tag, $12.50. No Regrets. Fischer Spassky, 1992, by Yasser Seirawan, Grandmaster. He also has the Winning at Chess series. Is another book I got on eBay. Chess Tactics. I had one of the first chess books I found in a thrift store. That was when I started collecting them. Was Winning Chess Strategy. Eventually, we found Play Winning Chess and Play Winning Chess Openings. This one was the one that was missing. Well, there's a couple more. I think Brilliancies and then Endgames, I assume. This one's mostly for my dad because I play against my dad. I beat him. I'm telling him, like, all he needs to do is tactics, right? He's missing tactics. That's all you need, just tactics. We're both under 2000. We're both under, I don't know, 1800, 1500. I'm probably more around 13, 1400, like actual over the board FIDE. But for my dad, he's definitely around like 1100, 1200 maybe. And this is what he's missing, tactics. So I told him, read this, and that should be enough. But this, as I was alluding to, or just saying, Yasser Serouan and this random reporter, well, not random reporter, but George Stefanovic. This book that I just told you I bought for $12.50. If you go on eBay right now, $150 hardcover, 500, but like I don't know who's actually paying 500 for the hardcover. Just get the soft cover at that point. But 150. Any other place you check, 150, 120, 200, all used copies because they don't print these. That's the reason. It's out of print. It's a really good book. That's why I bought it, because I actually started skimming through it, reading it. Because there was a bunch of books that day, and I probably to this day right now, if I go check, hopefully I'll buy some more. Where it was a bunch of chess books, really good books. I'm talking authors like who? Alexander Kotov, Boris Gelfand. He had his memorable games there. They had one by Gligarich, if I'm not mistaken. Another's like the Battle Against Pieces or something, like another game collection. A bunch of game collections. They had one by Jan Timman on Curacao, something like that. Like I think it was Interzono with Fischer, Korchnoi. I don't remember. But another book like that. And a bunch of other good books. And I was looking at them because they're all mainly game collections, right? And so I was like, this is also a game collection. And this is what I mentioned to my dad, where I think it was Jan Timman. The Jan Timman book about the Interzono is a tournament. And so it's a collection of games, of all the games of the tournament. But the thing is, unlike David Bronstein, another book, Zurich 53, absolute classic book. Insane players. And here's how you know. Typically, chess books always only mention the last name. But the point is, chess books always add only the last name. And sometimes I'm like, who's that? Who's playing, right? But you read this list and you're like, oh, Smyslov, Vasily Smyslov, Bronstein, David Bronstein, Keres, Paul Keres, Reshevsky, not to be confused with Shereshevsky, but Reshevsky is Samuel Reshevsky, yes, correct. Petrosyan, I assume Tigran Petrosyan. Geller, FM Geller. Najdorf, don't know Najdorf. His first name, but I assume it's from the Najdorf of the. That's a good question. The Najdorf, I'm going to guess Sicilian, played by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. That is a wild guess because I don't remember. I used to watch a lot more chess, but that's my guess. The Najdorf Sicilian, famous weapon of Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, MVL. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section. His first name, I don't know it. Kotov, Alexander Kotov. I think I have a couple books of his, actually. It's the one, Kotov and Paul Keres. I think it's either the most instructional games or something else. Taimanov, Mark Taimanov. Averbach, another famous chess player, but I don't remember his first name. Boleslavsky has an opening named after him. I think it's either the Boleslavsky attack or something like that. And I don't remember what opening, but also very, very popular, or very famous rather. Good player. You know, here's one thing. Famous, popular, no. Good player. That's the key. Szabo, Szabo. I recognize the name. Don't know the first name. I don't remember much about him. But he definitely is a good player. Gligarich. Again, don't remember his first name, but I do remember that his other book was also there at the half price books. And Gligarich, Irva, I assume Max Irva, right? The world champion. Because it was at the end of his reign as a world champion. He either retired or kept it. Yeah, I think he had it last. And then it was Bovnik, right? And then Stolberg. I don't know Stolberg, I will admit. But if I at least recognize and actually know the names of the vast majority of this list, it's because they're great players who have been studied and had videos made about them in their games. And so when you hear that and you realize the entire tournament literally has all of them, 15 of the strongest, I mean, that's why and it's annotated and explained by David Bronstein. Not only did he play in it, but he's also a really good player. And so I was like, perfect. You know, that's what the grandmasters say. You need to go through game collections, right? Really good games annotated. If not, really good games, and you just figure it out. The late Daniel Naroditsky, right? And he mentioned how the Soviet school of chess style, because it wasn't really a building, as he explained. They explained how it was important to go through so many books of, or rather, so many games to learn and understand plans and ideas that were these great players. And he's like, it's my belief that anyone can go through a game move by move and figure out the meaning of every single move and the thoughts behind it. And so that's important. And so now we have David Bronstein here. And also why I picked up No Regrets. I didn't know it was worth $150. I was tempted to sell it, but I mean, it's out of print. It's a great book. And I say this because the Jan Timman book, which I was considering, is the whole tournament like this, except they didn't go over every single game. They'll skip like 4 games because it was like what? Maybe it was 4 rounds or 8 rounds or something. And they'll skip like 4 or 5 of those games and only explain 1 or 2 of them. And then a third, but it's like the entire game played out. And at the end, it's like, oh, it's a draw because I'm not spending money to have you, 1, not analyze all of the games. Or like Japanese. 1, not analyze all the games. 2, skip the majority of them, which is not the analysis, but analyze games, not in their entirety. And 3, when you do analyze them, it's nothing but reams and reams of calculation. That's another thing with some chess books. Yes, they're great players, but it's just a bunch of extra sidelines. Like if I wanted sidelines, I would go check out the engine and look at that. And it's one thing for a player or the person analyzing it, the author, right, to give sidelines and explain them, be like this, that. There was I was mad. I kind of knew it, so I returned it. It was $5 for a Karpov book. It's like how I win. I learned from my mistakes or whatever. Like games he's lost and then him winning afterwards. He goes through the games. I annotated one on PGN, portable game notation. And so maybe I'll even go over it in some other video. But the annotations were so sparse, far and in between, if you will, that there really was no point. I just returned the book because you have the whole game played out, 20 moves deep. One is I could have played this, but I didn't. Okay, Unk. Next, move 35. If I had played this, he had a tricky perpetual he could have done. I could have done that. He could have done. Okay, Unk, you didn't play that. Next, this was a brilliancy. This was good. I said, okay, why? Oh, because of this. But it was part of the sideline he was mentioning. End of the game, I eventually played them again, and I won. Where's the analysis? Okay, where's the explanation of your moves? I want you to analyze the game. Okay, this is a book literally titled and described in the back with the description being how Karpov learned from how he lost, his mistakes, and said, I'm going to be better and beat them again. That wasn't there. Okay? And that's another thing. That you'll find books. Let me see. Okay. This thin. Okay? Even this one. 200 brilliant endgames. You're analyzing 200 endgames in this much book. No, you're not. You're not. Okay, let me calm down. They're endgames. Okay, I'll let that slide slightly because it's only like the endgame, whatever. But endgames are in depth. You have a full endgame manual. There are books and books and books on just the endgame. You're telling me you analyze 200 brilliant endgames? That's the part that sets me off. There are brilliant endgames. So if they're brilliant endgames, how are you analyzing 200 of those in this? You're not. I digress. I'm telling you, that's an endgame. My dad, when we went to the thrift store, or not the Half Price Books again, I was like, yo, you want to study endgames? You want to study endgames? Study endgames? Fundamental endgames. Thick book. Magnus Carlsen recommended it once, probably drunkenly, as he typically is on stream. Or it was an interview or something. He's like, that one, yeah, I read it. It was decent. I studied that. Okay, Dad, that's the one. Buy it. He bought it. Thick. 200. And that's why when I was looking at the other game collection books, where I'm like, okay, this is chunky. It feels substantial. It feels heavy. This paper is good paper. Good paper. Yeah, it's good paper. You know a book when you get a good book and it's good paper? 343 pages to analyze one tournament with 15 players. Yeah, makes sense. I don't even know if he went through every single game. I think he did. I don't even know. Let me see if I can find it in the yeah. Okay, so yeah, 7 games, 15 players. I guess they took days off or something. But yes, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Holy schmoly, 28 rounds, 30. Round 30. And each one has all of the rounds. Albeit, some of them only have a couple pages, like 2 pages, like 338. Irva Boleslavsky, King's Indian, he's still actually analyzing it, right? He analyzed every single game. That's why this book is so valuable. High level calculation, analysis, understanding, explanations. That makes this worth it. No shade to Jan Timman. I know he's a great player. But if you're going to make a book on analysis, like on a game collection of a tournament, analyze all the games and analyze them thoroughly. Okay? Because some of them were analyzed and it's not thorough. It's hardly even considered analysis. Some of them just skipped. Even if they're draws, there might be a couple of nuggets in there. At least give me the game. I don't know if it was at the back. I don't think so. But it's like, at least give me what the moves played and say, boring draw, boring loss, boring whatever. Okay? Okay. But at least give it to me so I can look at it. If I have the book, let me have all the games in there. And it didn't. And that Karpov book was even worse. I'm telling you. I'll go through that one game. But it was garbage. Some of these authors really just write their name on something and hardly did anything. And just to make money, bro. It's just like... Yasser is not one of those people. Let me tell you. I'm looking over it again. And why I bought it is coming back to mind. I mean, you have almost 2 pages or like half the page and the other full page of the other side or half the page between one move. Like move 23, just White's move, like page and a half. Move 24, Black's another paragraph, and it's explaining. I mean, this is what you want in an analysis book. David Bronstein is what you want in an analysis book. And that's why this is so valuable now. 1, it's out of print. 2, it's by a great writer, Yasser Seirawan. And 3, it's just a good book. Okay, like this is some great analysis. Also explains more into like who Fischer was because they have interviews with them. That's why this is a great book, and I'm not gonna sell it, even though I can make mad bank off of it, relatively speaking. My book now has a couple books that are really hard to find. I digress. Great book. I'm keeping it. Gotta read through it. Then after that, had to get Bobby Fischer's My 60 Memorable Games. Also a great price. It was the lowest I'd ever seen it for. And again, great annotations, his own games. It's Bobby Fischer. Anything Bobby Fischer is amazing. And then, as I mentioned, I have Mastering the Chess Openings, Volume 4. And I had to get Volume 2 and Volume 1. One small problem. Heavily annotated. Highlighted in notes in the margins. I know people might consider it the half blood prince kind of deal. But then my dad asked me a good question. So how much did you pay? I said it was selling for 30. The auction ended. He didn't sell it, so I said 15. He said okay. Shipping and everything was like $20. So what condition were they in? Like, was it an acceptable condition right on eBay, whatever? And so it's all highlighted and everything. I said, good question. I don't know. Let me check. Next day I check. It says like new. That's not like new. The literal definition is no highlighting, no underlining, and no notes in the margin. Not only did it have all 3, but it was in pen note nonetheless. It's funny because it literally had everything that it wasn't supposed to. But if you remember, you're paying attention. I have Volume 4. This is Volume 1 and 2. I was missing Volume 3. And that's what came in the mail this month. And now this one is like new. Although this one cost me a lot more. This one itself cost me like $20. The discount and everything. I basically paid this with what they returned me from this. And so in reality, it's like $30 for all 3. So it's like $10 each. I already had the 4th one for $1. So the full series is probably around $35. So less than $10 each book. That's not bad. 2 of them are like new condition. The other 2, not so much. But I didn't pay so much for those. But I digress. I'm happy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only to realize eventually, because I bought 4 just because it was a thrift store for a dollar. So I was like, you know what, let me get it. Then I finally got 1 and 2, and then I watched a video by the Chess Nerd recommending books for not beginners, I think it was amateurs. Where it's like, I recommend this book, volume 1, and then for Black 2, because this is like E4, then it's D4. I don't know what 3 is about 'cause I just got in the mail, and then 4 is like a bunch of like I think it's like the English and other random stuff. Ah, it literally says right here: Gambits, preparation, fianchetto, and symmetry. Understanding the English opening and related structures. And then the first 2 doesn't really say, it just says unlocking the mysteries of the modern chess openings, but this is volume 1 Z4, volume 2 is D4 basically. So I finally got all 4, and then recently I went ahead to the thrift store again. Found Strategic Chess, Mastering the Closed Game. Edmer Mednis, Grandmaster. Yeah, it looked good. I only got it because I'm like, when you find in the thrift store, you gotta snag them. Great price, $4. There's another one I got. It's Teaching Chess or something like that. Let me see if I can find it on mine. And I gave that one to my dad. So again, but that one's like 2 volumes in one, where the first volume is like for complete beginners. And then volume 2 is for more advanced. Learn Chess, a complete course. By, let's see. It doesn't say. In my app, it says Everyman Chess, but it's not even by Everyman Chess. It's by, not Summit Publishing. So what's the other one? Cadogan? I think it's the one by, with Kasparov as the CEO. But that one's the one I gave him. And that's it. That's all that I've bought in the recent month, 2 months, give or take. Aside from that, I mean, that's pretty much it. And now I'm actually really tempted. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll go over the rest of my chess collection. But either way, I try to make sure to get quality over quantity. Yes, I realize I said I'll buy it just because it's in a thrift store. But I've seen books at the thrift store. I'm like, I'm not getting that. Either way, that's it. That was everything that I got from eBay. And either way, thanks for watching. If you actually made it all the way through, leave a like. But if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. And hopefully after this video, you go and read your chess books if you have any. If you don't have any, and you want your first chess book is I would recommend, I guess it depends on rating, right? Okay, that's it. And so hopefully I will read my books, upload more chess, upload more of my books, chess and non-chess books, get better at chess. That's what we all aspire to, is getting better at chess. Have a nice day. Thanksgiving's coming up. Hopefully you spend time with your friends. Hopefully you get a couple chess books for Christmas or chess board or something. Have a nice day.